What is your way of prioritizing and your advice to people you maybe speak with when it comes to like a mortgage or student loans or credit cards? Like, what's the best way to tackle it from what you've seen in practice?
Currently, I have the mortgage, have a car payment, and then I do have some consumer credit card debt. Those are kind of my three big ones. My big theory on the mortgage and the car payment are, it's pretty low interest debt. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to, as long as I make my payment. And when I got my payments, my, whatever they are, $300 to $1,000, I rounded them up a little bit when I first got them. So I've already had them paying a little bit more towards interest, which I think is a good thing to do. But, don't overextend yourself too far because those interest rates are usually low enough. And then the credit card, those ones are usually high. So try to get those paid off as soon as possible. But everybody has credit card debt, especially when they first start out, because everybody tells you, open a credit card, put it on the credit card, get your points or your miles, and definitely do that, but pay it off in full. But if you're starting with a balance, I always just, whenever I have extra money and I go to pay myself first into like my retirement or my savings account, I take half of that and I put it towards the credit card. So if I have $100, I'm like, okay, 50 gets to go to future me, 50 gets to clean up past me's mistakes until we get that paid off. Not that they're mistakes, just that carrying a balance can feel like a burden when you first start trying to tackle that debt.
Yeah, because it can just be overwhelming. It can just swallow you down into a misery hole. And the theme around money seems so obvious and practical, but it seems to be one of the biggest challenges at the same time people face.
On top of that, too, people don't talk about it. My parents growing up rarely talked about money, briefly here and there. And it was usually when we were having some issues with our finances. But none of my friends really talked about money. None of my friends' parents were talking about money. It wasn't until I started actively seeking out the personal finance community that I started having conversations with people about money.